far as Carla Nelson and others that be around here talking about small businesses, and your small business got to jump through hoops. They raise the bar so high that every time you jump to reach the bar, they keep on raising it. You got to be as tall as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to touch the bar in order to meet the requirements to get a loan. And they only want to give you $10,000 for a facade, and that's all it is, just a facade. You can't get no other money in order to make improvements to your businesses in East Baltimore. And you all know in West Baltimore, you can go around the city, man, and small businesses are saying this. But yet they can look out for these rich developers. And then to see Jack Young, or don't see Jack Young, to see Jack Young, who was running around here, he's from East Baltimore. As the brothers told me, they just wanted to be able to get a stage for an event they was having. He said, if I give you a stage, I got to give West Baltimore a stage. Get the stage then. Get the stage. I mean, but this show you how juvenile he is. And at a time when this racist white media is attacking Councilman Carl Stokes over the issue of Harbor Point, over the issues of jobs. You remember it was Jack Young running around talking about jobs. We need to be able to say to these contractors that they got to at least hire 51% of the citizens in Baltimore. Now here's Jack Young. And here's an opportunity for Jack Young to step up and show he got the testicular fortitude to put the money where his mouth is. But yet when Carl Stokes, his councilman and his colleague on the council, steps up to do that, you don't hear nothing but silence from Jack, man. It's my brother out there which says like a mouse pissing on cotton. You don't hear nothing from Jack Young about this. Here's his opportunity to step up and say, I support Councilman Stokes in words, deeds, and actions, and you haven't heard nothing from Jack Young. You haven't heard nothing from Jim Kraft, whose district I believe that is down there, man, where Harbor Point is. Or it could be William Cole, that other fake white liberal. But here's an opportunity for Jack Young to put his money where his mouth is, and you don't hear nothing from Jack Young, man. You don't hear rap from Jack Young right now. In fact, anybody out there seeing Jack, man? If you seen Jack, tell him we're looking for him. But we haven't seen Jack Young. Let me go to this clip, man, with your mayor who finally made it into East Baltimore. And then I'm going to talk about the police department reshuffling. But it's not a reshuffling when you got John Pataraka's son-in-law, John P. Skinner, who I told you, the in-law who got a outlaw in-law in Pataracus. And I say that, the owner of H&S Bakery, because of his, of course, pleading guilty to that issue of campaign finance violation with Helen Houghton and Sheila Dixon. But yeah, he's still doing business with the city and got your mayor operating as a lobbyist for him and Michael Beatty. But now his son-in-law, we'll say alleged, because Justin Fenton and some people don't want to have this discussion with me. We'll say alleged. His son-in-law, who they had running patrols, and he don't know about patrol because he don't have no control, if you know what I mean. Because he don't have no control. So now they got to reassign him into intelligence, and there's nothing about him that says intelligence. So they reassign him and Dan Palmieri. And if those of you that don't know Palmieri, according to that report, around this time last year, maybe a month after this time last year, August the 4th, that report regarding the death of William Torbett talked about Palmieri, who was the officer in charge, along with Brown, the head of the tactical unit, who covered up the murder of a black police officer. But here's Palmieri being what? Promoted down there. See, it shows you that crime pays. You can stray and spray a black police officer 23 times. And they got to know to say they didn't know he was a police officer. Well, that mean that you were coon hunting. That mean you was nigger hunting, pardon my language. That you would just lay a black man out with 23 shots. You would chalk him. It's what you saying, even if he wasn't a police officer. You saying it's okay to shoot a man 23 times is what Bernstein said and your man has said. And others went along with that, man. Went along with it. But they think we supposed to have amnesia, not remember Palmieri. Not remember Skinner, who didn't care about police officers on them CSOs when they got rid of them at the PAL centers. He didn't care about them. In fact, I got in an argument with them down there at Crispus Attucks. And then his so-called boys that was with him said to some of the lieutenants that they should have checked me for checking Skinner, because I said if you was in the military, they would court-martial you and charge you with treason for leaving your men out there in the field. They would charge you with desertion is what I said to him. But I know he don't want to have that conversation with me. And I'd say to some of you that want to do a 1,000,000-man or 300-person march, that's beautiful. But be careful. Be careful, because they'll have provocateurs among you. trying to destabilize your act of peace, because they clearly are militarizing this police department right now. And perhaps some of these murders that you think are happening, and they're telling you, and you're seeing very little suspects, very little pictures of suspects. They ain't coming out with no reward money. They're not coming out with no reward money, so they really don't want your cooperation except to accept what it is that they want to, again, implement in our communities, man. Implement and install in our communities under the guise of protecting you. But if they ain't bringing no army, not an army of military, not the National Guard, not the state police, not Coppin State Police, not Morgan State Police, but I mean an army, man, of volunteers. See, that's what a general has to be able to do. That's what a leader can do, not to be a seeker of consensus, as Dr. King said, but a builder and a molder of consensus. And sorry to admit, your mayor doesn't embody that. She embodies nepotism, cronyism, and all these other kind of isms, asms, scasms, and spasms that's going on in this city. That's what she represents. But let me open up the lines. Take your thoughts, questions, comments after I give you this clip. 410-761-1592, and you can get in on the conversation. If time permits, I'll talk about President Obama today. If not, I'll get into it tomorrow as I talk about what to the slave. What to the slave and the enslaved? What to the Africanists and the Pan-Africanists? What to the Africans and the nationalists and the rationalists? What to black people in 2013 does the 4th of July really mean, man? What to us does the 4th of July really, truly means in the words of Frederick Douglass? He said that in 1852. We're looking at that today in 2013, man. But let me go to this clip. Then we'll come back in and take your calls at 410-761-1592. Let me get this infomercial out the way. Then we coming right to your lines. 410. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We talking black power, meaning justice, man. Justice. Don't you want justice? Don't you want justice and deserve justice in the city? Let me go to this clip and we'll be right back.
3 more people shot in Baltimore tonight.
ABC 2 News' Christian Schaefer's keeping track of it all. He joins us live from City Hall tonight. Chris, what's the latest?
Yeah, guys, the mayor attended a Take Back the Streets walk tonight, but less than 2 hours after it ended, city police were back out at another shooting. The most recent shooting on the west side of the McCullough homes near MLK Boulevard. One man shot, police trying to find out who did it. Earlier in the day, another man was shot in the 200 block of Tremont Street, which is in southwest Baltimore near Frederick Road. And in North Baltimore, a woman was shot in a park along Willow Avenue east of York Road. The victims in all 3 of those most recent shootings survived.
What do we want? Safe Street! What do we want?
Meanwhile, in East Baltimore, residents walked to promote the Safe Streets program.
We're looking at the violence and the numbers, but we got to look at the countless families that's being affected by this. We're trying to say, man, let's put a truce to this, man. Let's walk for peace.
Mayor Rawlings Blake attended. She said she believes events like this, along with extra police patrols that remain in place around the city, are beginning to bring the violence under control.
We're not going to let, a week of violence be the story of this year.
She did not say how long the city can sustain the cost of those extra patrols.
There's no money tree growing in the basement of City Hall. That being said, we're working to use our resources effectively and efficiently to get the results that we want.
Last summer, the city's police union unveiled a plan aimed at cutting crime. The head of the union told ABC 2 News he felt the plan had been ignored by city leaders. The mayor denied that.
Commissioner Batts, as soon as he got the plan from the FOP, thought that there were things that were worth taking a look at, and I know that he's doing that.
And tonight, no arrests, no suspects in any of the 3 of those latest shootings. Live at City Hall, Christian Schaefer, ABC 2 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Chris. In response to the violence, a community comes together to fight the violence. The 300 Men March is scheduled for this Friday at 7 o'clock. The organizers have been relying mostly on social media to get the word out, and you can find out more details about it at the hashtag 300 Men March. Well, tonight.
Welcome back. Let me do this. Open up the lines, take your thoughts, questions, comments. But we don't need more police deployment. What you need to do is look at how you're deploying them, but we need more employment. Let me put it simple. Jobs. That's what we need. That's what we need right now. And again, we see the cash mobs and the flash mobs. You're going to see them this weekend. I believe that's why your mayor really stepped up, because that Oreo Yankees game with all those people coming in from New York and around the country, and it was on national television. See, this is the time you should be acting up and acting out. You know how to do it when you got some company coming. Act up and act out so that you get what it is you deserve. Don't have a 300-man march uptown. Do it downtown. See, they're responsible for protecting you. They're responsible. You think some white people are going to just march uptown? No, they're going to put some demands on her as and assets downtown. So I applaud those that want to march uptown from Hilton and Milton, but take it downtown right there in City Hall. Take it down there to Harbor East. You built it. Take it to the Harbor Less. Take it to the Harbor Mess, man. You built it. You pay for it. So if they got protection downtown, you got a right to have protection and respect uptown, not to turn your community into a police state. And you got to ask to demand the jobs like everybody else, man. Unless they paying you to march. Now, I ain't saying they are. Unless they paying some of you, and you know they are. I mean, some of you know they are with this Operation Safe Street, because I've spoken to you about it. And I don't have a problem if you're doing that with them Health Department of Justice, and John Hopkins Phil Leaf grants. If that's what you're going to do, then let the people know that. But let's come into the community and be real peacemakers. And if she didn't come in with an army of service and service providers, then, of course, all this is a photo op. Photo op with Negro props. Photo op with Negro props. And she learned from the best, Martin O'Malley, because that's what he used to do to them when he was the mayor. And, of course, he continues to do that as the governor. Photo ops and photo props, man. If she didn't come with a check, man. If she didn't come with no money. If she didn't come with the dough, yo. If she just treated you like a $2 you know what. You know what. Men and women. Some of you brothers out there marching. Some of you Muslims done lost young Muslims, and you haven't went down there to put no demands on her. Some of you Christians done lost good Christians that never been to jail, and you won't put no demands on her. You want to grandstand for her and grandstand with Jack Young, when they should be standing grand with their policies, man. They should be standing grand with their policies and their actions. Because all that they're doing right now is not giving you no satisfaction. And you know what I'm saying is true. You're just too chicken to say it. Let me come to the line and take a few of your calls, 410-761-1592, because I have much more I want to say. And if I do, you won't even get in on this conversation today. You may not get in for the whole week with much of what I got to say. But let me come to the lines. Good afternoon, caller. You in the state of the city.
Yes, good afternoon.
How you doing, my sister?
I'm
Thoughts
fine.
and comments?
The police presence is very visible in lots of communities, but I would suggest that the presence of the officers is of no value when you are sitting in an air-conditioned vehicle looking at your iPhone.
That's right. That's what most of them are doing.
I don't know what that's all about, because really and truthfully, you can be out there, but you cannot stop another person from pulling the trigger when their mind tells them that's what they want to do.
That's right. Yes, ma'am.
So we got to deal with another issue, and that is bringing a different reality to our people about how valuable life really is.
Yes. We have to go in and teach our people, but we got to teach them as well. And the sad part is, our money is paid for all that so-called medallion training.
Exactly.
So how can you have all this training and you don't even know how to say good morning, good afternoon? You know what I mean? And that's the sad part. You're like, if either they do or they don't. And if they don't want to do it, then tell them hand in their resignations is what they should do if they don't want to get out their cars and stop tweeting on that BlackBerry.
That was my very point, because if you're not on the street, like walking your beat, no one in the neighborhood is going to know who the officer is. This is very different from the 60s and the 50s, when the officers had the same neighborhoods day in and day out. The people that lived there knew the officers by name. They knew everybody that lived in the community.
That's right.
But these officers, on any 7 days straight, you can see a different officer patrolling your same neighborhood. Nobody knows anybody.
Right. But yet they know all the Orioles players by name. When they go down, they work down the stadium. They be slapping high fives. Or if you go down Canton, I've been down Canton lately. Now, they can spend plenty of time in them businesses down Canton and some of them other areas down there. But yet they won't get out, walk among the people, or just have enough respect to speak to the people when they see the people.
Well, I tell you this. When you have police officers, when they're doing traffic patrol at a football game or baseball game.
Yes, don't they?
And they're out there ushering people who have been drinking for 4 or 5 hours to the Beltway in 83.
Yes.
You don't get high rates of drinking and driving tickets.
No, they won't stop
those days.
No, not at all. In fact, the order goes out. And I think this is why, again, thank you for your call, Mama.
All right.
And I'll take more of your calls. Bye-bye now. 410-761-1592. Now, I say to the young people, you should go downtown this week. What is it, 4th of July? So that's why your man police stepping up. They don't want you they don't want you embarrassing them. One, with all those people that came in town for that Yankees game, which was on national televised television, and now for that 4th of July weekend coming in, man. But all this other time, from January to June,